How My Sister and I Got Played by My Ex-Boyfriend. I was pulling a book off of the shelf that looked interesting when I noticed a face staring back at me. Oh God, it wasn't him. I quickly hid my face behind a book, but it was too late. He'd already noticed me. What was I thinking? I must have appeared even more pitiful. If you're wondering why I was desperately avoiding this man, know that it was my ex-boyfriend, Michael. Talk about ruining a day. Oh, hello, Michael. I didn't see you there. Are you here by yourself, or... Oh, no, I'm here with my girlfriend. There she is. Hey, babe, I'm here. I turned around, and geez, my day just went from bad to catastrophic. How on earth did they end up together? Yep, I knew that girl. She's Debbie, my stepsister. Oh, let me tell you about her. Actually, Debbie and I attended the same high school together before we became stepsisters. But we weren't particularly close. However, after my mother and Debbie's father mysteriously got together and soon got married, I tried to be friendly with her, but no matter what I did, she remained unfriendly and even forbade me from telling anyone at school that we were related. She also began to compete with me for team tryouts, tests, and other opportunities. After a few months of living together, she informed our parents that she was moving in with her mother and changing schools because she couldn't stand living with me any longer. I won't lie, hearing her say that hurt like crazy. Ben was nice to her, but fine if that's what she wanted to do. And as I mentioned earlier, that guy over there is my ex, Michael. We dated when I was a sophomore and he was a senior, but he broke up with me for someone else. When we went out to eat, I'd always order a sad-looking salad because I was on a strict diet. But Michael would order a big, juicy hamburger with fries on the side. I would always steal a few fries and bites of his burger because sharing is totally normal in a relationship. But Michael didn't think so. Just like that, he broke up with me, left for college, and came back for summer break dating my stepsister. Oh, hey, Nick. Long time no see. Oh, yeah, I hope you don't mind, but I'm with Michael now. Ugh, I detest her sarcasm. And why did she have to grab his arm and stroke his hair? Nick, are you seeing anyone right now? I flipped my hair and began bragging about my amazing older boyfriend, a mature man who has the face of a movie star and the body of a Calvin Klein model. Wrinkles began to appear between Debbie's eyebrows and her face, but then Michael said, "Great, how about a double date tomorrow night? That would be so much fun." How brilliant, my dear. My manager asked me, "Nick, are you trying to wear away that table?" I was so preoccupied with my dating dilemma that I hadn't realized I'd been cleaning the same table for 20 minutes. But hey, wait, I looked closer at my manager's face. I wanted to meet the lucky guy who stole my sister's heart. My God, they weren't joking. I had no choice but to agree, darn it. And where was I going to find a handsome older guy by tomorrow? I thought I had found my pretend boyfriend, Raphael, a handsome older guy who's single, but he's way too serious to help me with this stupid situation. I did know he was looking for his ideal girlfriend because I overheard him complaining about the unsuccessful dates he'd been on, so that was my perfect plan. I offered to help clean up after we closed the coffee shop so I could stay out late with Raphael. I said, "Hey, Raphael, this is my boyfriend Michael's sister, and I want to introduce her to you." At first, he wasn't so interested, so I showed him Debbie's prettiest picture. Holy moly, that's his sister. Jeez, why so surprised? Debbie isn't that beautiful. The fact that my fake boyfriend thought he was out with Debbie and that I was out with Michael when they were actually both together was the only problem with my plan. But I was so confident that I could pull it off. So for our double date, we all went bowling. Whatever the case, at least I had his attention. I asked him if he wanted to go on a double date, and he immediately said yes! Jackpot! Raphael was immediately attracted to Debbie and made an effort to impress her with his bowling prowess. I, on the other hand, was terrible at bowling and was frequently teased by Michael. To be honest, I was having a great time hanging out with Michael when he threw the ball straight into the gutter during his turn, and I had a lot of fun teasing him back. Also, don't even get me started on how handsome he's gotten over the years. Suddenly, it was my turn again, and Michael asked if I wanted him to demonstrate how to throw a bowling ball properly. He approached me from behind and touched my hand before saying, yes. I hesitantly replied yes, too, and I could feel Michael blushing as well. Hold on, I think I still have feelings for him. He should be with me because Debbie doesn't deserve him. Overall, the double date was a big success. In order for me to have a chance to win Michael back, Raphael helped keep Debbie away from Michael. However, a few days later, Raphael came clean and asked me to set up a date for just the two of them. This was the first indication that he was in love with Debbie, of course. Reluctantly, I suggested another double date. He agreed, but this time he insisted that we went out for a romantic dinner. At first, everything was fine, but then Michael put his arm around Debbie and she gave him some of her mashed potatoes, making it impossible for me to set them up. I looked over at Raphael and noticed his perplexed expression. Michael's such a great guy. He's so thoughtful and he always treats me like a princess. She's so annoying. Well, enjoy him while you can, because he'd soon be mine again when I walked out of the bathroom. Raphael ran over to me and dragged me into a corner. Michael and Debbie are really strange, don't you think? Do you think they're hiding something from me? I needed to get them apart quickly, so I asked Debbie to go with me. Oh, and by the way, I spoke to Debbie in the bathroom, and she thinks you're a great guy. Of course, that was a big, fat lie. They're just close siblings, that's all. And if I were Pinocchio, my nose would be as long as a baseball bat, but at least Raphael seemed to be buying it from the way he was beaming, so he returned to the table and carried on with this awkward dinner. Suddenly, Michael and Debbie began calling each other offensive nicknames like Buttercup, Cutie Pie. Hey, Debbie. Raphael and I just sat there looking really awkward. Michael and you seem to get along really well. Has this always been the case? Of course, we just can't get enough of each other, can we? She gave Michael a kiss on the cheek. Yes, on the freaking cheek. I turned to look at Raphael, who looked horrified, but maybe he hadn't realized that they were siblings. Oh, who am I kidding? Of course he had by the time the double date came around. He berated me for deceiving him, and I told him that I really cared about Michael and that I was attempting to win him back. What do you like about me? He asked. Debbie, I told Raphael that Debbie is into photography and also has professional equipment. So he messaged her asking if she could take photos of the coffee shop for his online page, and Debbie said yes. While that was all going on, I turned into a complete creep and followed Michael just so I could accidentally bump into him at the bakery. And Raphael agreed. It turned out that his personality hadn't changed at all. He continued to tell the worst jokes and kept his food away from my mouth. Back then, he told me he was planning a special surprise for Debbie, and he wanted to discuss it with me over dinner at his place. Now I regret buying him that coffee. I might want to reconsider. After all, do I really want this boring guy? Oh my God, my plan actually worked, and Michael fell in love with me as I assisted him in the kitchen. When he suddenly lunged forward and attempted to kiss me, I was startled and threw some carrots in his face. What about Debbie? I had assumed that this meeting was intended to be a surprise for her, and Michael had just revealed the truth to me. Nick, it's you that I love. It's always been you. Hearing him say that gave me the shivers. He had no surprise planned for Debbie. It was just a ruse to get me here. It also turns out that the time we met at the bookstore wasn't by chance. Michael had been stalking me. Ugh, what a creep. He also knew that Debbie was my stepsister, so he purposely got with her to make me jealous. Well, at least I know for sure that any feelings I had for him have completely vanished. I implore you to reconsider leaving, and please do so soon. Oh, wow. Michael's a big jerk. How dare he take advantage of Debbie's feelings like that? Ugh, I need to warn her, but before doing that, I had to give him a piece of my mind. Let me be clear, Debbie means nothing to me, and I don't care about her at all. Please remember that you're the idiot who broke up with me and that your jokes are really lame. That's all. I only went on a double date with you guys because I didn't want to lose Debbie. After leaving, I hurried to the cafe shop where Debbie was and told her the whole truth about how Michael was only using her to make me envious. Michael just stood there with a bewildered expression on his face. I can't believe you did it once more. What did she mean when she said, "Don't act all innocent, you're stealing my boyfriend again"? I wondered. Turns out back then Debbie had a crush on Michael, so when Michael and I started dating, she got real mad, and that's why she was always so cold. I didn't know, and I swear I never had dated him if I'd known that. Ugh, just stop. I know you can't stand losing to me. Just leave me alone. I don't want anything to do with you. Speaking to her seemed pointless, until Raphael abruptly interrupted, saying, Debbie, you're trying to protect me. If she didn't care about you, she'd just let you be with that jerk. But instead, she told you the truth, even though she knew you'd probably react like this because that's what sisters do. They protect each other. Debbie was stunned for a moment before realizing Raphael was correct. So we sat down and had a lengthy, serious conversation. Debbie and I put aside our feud and made up after all the drama, but at first Debbie was a little depressed over what Michael had done to her. Fortunately, Raphael kept her company, and soon she opened up to him, and their relationship progressed until they're now dating. Woohoo! There was laughter, tears, and a lot of hot chocolate, but in the end, we finally seemed to understand each other, so that was it. Woohoo! The main thing is that Debbie and I made up after all these years of animosity and rivalry. I may not have a boyfriend, but I do have something better, having my sister back. So I'm okay with that. So how did you find this story? If you want to hear more stories like this, please like and subscribe. Don't forget to comment with your thoughts and share this video too. Thanks for listening to my story.